Hello guys and girls and welcome. So today we're going to be carrying on in our Introductory to WoW in 2020 series by talking about add-ons. So add-ons are what they are, what it says on the tin. They're an add-on to the current game of World of Warcraft. They come in all shapes and sizes. Some are just kind of the bars within the game, some help us to complete quests, and some just kind of change the interface that we're looking at visually to make it a bit more appealing or a bit more comfortable to play. So today we're going to go through the basics. I'm going to show you one of my favourite websites to grab some add-ons. I'm going to show you how to download them and install them and where to put them in the game. And then finally, I'm going to show you my setup and how to adjust a couple of my favorites. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is the standard interface that kind of comes with the game, and it's broken down into a few different things. So this is our kind of unit frames. It's our character with our health and our mana, what we're targeting. This is absolutely fine, but I kind of like a lot more information when I'm looking at it, and as you move later in the game, it's really handy to be able to see kind of the enemy's exact health and maybe what the enemy's targeting or what the enemy's casting and that kind of thing. So there's a really awesome add-on we can use for that. We have our bars down here, so currently we only have kind of 12 buttons and it's not particularly easy to move things around. We can't kind of adjust this without going into a lot of different menus, so there's an add-on we can look at for that. And then we have our bags down here, so currently we only have one bag anyway, so it's not too bad, but again, as we progress into the game, we're going to have 5 separate equipment containers, and items are going to be kind of spread across those 4 or 5 bags. Whereas there's a really cool add-on you can get that puts everything into one bag and it becomes a lot more organised to look at. So this is the default, and we're just going to add on a few things into the game to make some adjustments and make it a bit easier for us to play. So if you go into your search engine, so I'm just using Google Chrome at the moment, and you want to type in here Curse Gaming WoW, and then we're looking for this one here, curseforge.com, and then WoW add-ons. So basically this is their entry screen, and all of the add-ons are broken down into loads of different sections. There's probably 100,000 different add-ons here to look through, but there's kind of 3 big ones that I want to talk about today. Feel free to have a look through. I'm not necessarily telling you what the best add-ons are, this is just what I find comfortable for myself. So first of all, we're going to look at unit frames. So if we click on here, again, there are loads of different options, different things that suit different people. For me, I've been using what originally was called Xpearl, and now it's called Zpearl unit frames. I think they're fantastic. They're really easy to kind of edit. So we click on Zpearl unit frames. There's loads of information and an introduction. There's kind of loads of photos and comments. But for now, we're literally just going to download this. So if you click on the download at the top, what it would do is download automatically in 5 seconds. And then once it's done, it will either come up with a little kind of box in the middle of your screen saying open, save or whatever, or it will come up as a little zip file down here. Basically what you want to do is open this file, and it will show you this. And all of these folders here are everything you need to get Zpearl to work in World of Warcraft. So what you're going to then have to do is open up your Internet Explorer, your My Documents file, and find where you've installed World of Warcraft. So for me, I'm going to go to Local SC, Program Files, World of Warcraft, and then in your World of Warcraft folder, you'll either have an interface folder here, or if you go into Retail, you'll have an interface folder in here, and then add-ons. So typically speaking, this would be completely empty. As you can see, I've got a load of add-ons already installed, so it would look like this. And then we're just literally going to highlight all of these by left-clicking, highlight everything, pick it up, and just drop it into here. Or you can right-click and copy and then paste them into the file. So that will drop it into here. And then all we need to do is basically close World of Warcraft and reopen it, and then it will load these add-ons into the game. Okay, so we're literally just going to rinse and repeat with a couple of my other favorites. So if we go back onto here, that was our Zpearls that we've done. So a brilliant bag add-on. So if we go to bags and inventory, there's a fantastic bag add-on called BagOn. So we're going to do exactly the same thing in here. BagOn, download, rinse and repeat. And then there's one more that I want to go through, which is called Bartender. And then if we go into, where are they? Action bars down here. Again, there are loads of different options, but if you go into Bartender 4, this is a fantastic tool for changing your bars. As you can see, the main features here, we've got 10 different action bars, loads of different stuff that we can adjust. So we're going to download that, and then what you should end up with is, as you can see, I've already opened all these up from before. So Gladius is a PVP tool that I use sometimes. I've got that one as well. And then Z Pearl. So I've opened all these files up, and then I've got my add-ons file. So because I deleted everything earlier, I'm just going to pop everything back in. So Bartender is done. BagOn. This is our BagOn. I'm just going to pop that back in there. And Z Pearl is our unit frames we've already done. And then Gladius. Again, for this one, I'm going to pop it in because I want to show it to you in a later video. Gladius is a really awesome one for arena and PvP. So if you want to pick this one up, again, just search for Gladius, open it up, and pop it into here. I will quickly show you how to do this in the video, seeing as we've got it open already. So then we're going to close our World of Warcraft and just reopen up the game. So it's just loading now. Here we go. And what you'll see is in the bottom left hand corner of the screen when it loads up, you'll have a add-ons button. So if you click in this one, there's a whole list of add-ons that you've popped into that folder. There's another really awesome tip I'll give you, is that here we have a list of all of the characters we have on this realm. So Xylanthor, for example, is my rogue. What we could do if we wanted to, let's say we didn't want the BagOn on the bag add-on on Xylanthor, we could just go in here and turn it off. Then when we log in on that individual character, we would only have the Z Pearl unit frames turned on. It's a really, really handy tool, because if you had kind of paladin specific kind of add-ons, you could set a specific setup for that class, and then you could have a different one for a different class. So for now, I'm just going to log in and show you what the difference is and what it looks like when it's all set up. So here we go. The first one I'm going to talk through is our Z Pearl. So you can see already that our unit frames look very different. We can now see that it's much bigger, much easier to see. We've got our kind of buffs and debuffs highlighted on the bottom, and we can see the physical numbers and everything on here. The options menu to kind of edit it is over here. There's a little white circle on the side of your minimap. You can click that and it opens up kind of your options menu. There are probably 50,000 different settings that you can edit, but the main ones are the fact that you can just literally pick this up and put it wherever you like on the screen. And then if you target something, so let's say we target this person over here, but by left clicking, it shows you the enemies or the kind of your target's interface. And then if we target this player over here, who's then targeting a young lightsaber, it shows you their target as well, which you can then adjust. So for the moment, if you press F1, it targets yourself, by the way, so we're just going to target ourselves in this situation. We're going to click and drag ourselves here. So for me, my standard setup is kind of, I like everything to be around the edges of the screen so that my game is really clear in the middle. But you can do it however you'd like. You have a party option here, and there's also a really awesome tool in World of Warcraft where you can focus something. So if I clicked this person over here and put / in my little chat box and press focus, what that will do is it will keep that person, even if I deselect them and go a mile away, that person will always be on here. So I can always see them, I can see their health, I can see what they're doing. Again, very handy in PvP if you're playing with somebody else, playing with a friend. You can pop them on your focus here and you will never lose track of them. You don't have to go and find them somewhere else. So that's fantastic. If you wanted to adjust the sizes of things, so you could just go into player. You've got player frame scale here, you can see to adjust it. The target frame scale, again, you can do the same thing. The focus, the party, and then as you get bigger, you could kind of show raid frames. And this, as you get into towards end game, you might have kind of a 40-man raid. There's loads of different groups of people that you can move and pop wherever you like on the screen. If you're healing maybe 30 or 40 people, you might want to have a load of this around the game. So we're just going to disable that for now. Next we have our Bartender add-ons. So for this one down here, it doesn't look that different. So what I think, the actual the way to get into this add-on is one of a couple of different ways. But if you press enter, it opens up your chat box and you can type in /BT for Bartender. And then if nothing happens, that means there's a problem with your add-on. So what we're going to do now is go into our game menu, pop into add-ons and try and find out what the issue is. So at the moment we've got an add-on list, and there's a grey tick, which means it's not turned on or not working properly. So if we click our little drop down list and select us, this is the character we're currently playing, we can see that, oh, accidentally we've turned this one off. So we can click this one, the add-on will turn on, and it says here requires reload. So if we then click reload UI, it will reload the screen and generate the add-on. There we go, looking much better now. So as you can see, what it's automatically done is put everything across the bottom here in one place. And then if we again press enter /BT and press enter again, it's going to open up an options menu for us. The reason why Bartender is awesome is that in addition to what you can currently see on the screen, if you press In fact, if you just pick this up using your left mouse, you can move things around. So there's a couple of action bars here and a couple of action bars here. And if you just click this lock button, so currently all of our bars are locked, meaning we can't move them. If you click the lock to unlock everything, these are all of the bars that you currently have turned on. So we have bar 1, bar 5, 6, 3, 4, and you can adjust them, move them wherever you like around the screen. And if it's not enough for you and you want to load more kind of action bars, you can go through 7, 8, 9 and start enabling them and adding tons more bars to the screen. So it's really, really handy because it enables you to, it lets you put stuff wherever you want it in the game, which is really, really nice. For now, I'm not going to mess with it too much. Again, my general advice, especially when you first start playing, is that you leave the center of your screen as clear as possible so you can see your enemies, you can see the gameplay. At the moment, if I click this kind of little Grelkin here, I can move this and have some extra abilities around my bars, or maybe some out the way on the side for me to click on or keybind, but it's not interfering with what I'm trying to do inside the game. The only other thing to talk about with our Bartender are something called key bindings. So as you get more and more buttons, it's very inefficient to click every single thing in the game. If you're trying to target a player or chase a player, you don't want to be clicking across 15, 20 different buttons. It's much quicker to assign them keys on your keyboard or even the buttons on your mouse to make things go more efficiently. So if we click on key bindings, we can then hover over all of the buttons we have and assign them kind of letters or mouse presses. So if you've got a mouse with mouse buttons on the side, you can assign it to those. You can assign it to a scroll wheel. So I've just moved my mouse wheel up here, and I can move that mouse wheel down. And I've assigned this one Q to kind of show you. And then press OK. There's also an option to only do key binding specific to this character as well. So you can have different sets for different characters if you'd like. So if we press OK, and then I can click on this Grelkin here, or let's do it on the little fawn, and press Q, and then it's going to fire a solar wrath. And you can see that my cast bar is now up here. And then the very final thing I'd like to talk through is our BagOn add-on. So if we press B or open our backpack on here, again you've got a nice inventory and it's all in one bag. As you get more bags that are equipped into these slots here, this window you see is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. There's a couple of really handy things on here, so you can clean up and that'll automatically organize kind of food and items, and then just random stuff to sell. So anything that's grey generally is just kind of vendor stuff to sell it to earn money, whereas white items are classified as useful, green is kind of uncommon or good, blue is rare or better, and then purple is epic, and orange is legendary, which is the best kind of in the game. And then the thing that every character will start with, which is a little bit different, is a hearthstone. Just to kind of briefly explain what a hearthstone is, if you right click it, it will return you back to a waypoint, and as you go through the game you can talk to innkeepers inside houses and change that waypoint setting. So if you went to a new zone, you could accept quests and go off on a mission or something, and then you can use your hearthstone that has a 30-minute cooldown to come back to that innkeeper. So it's a really handy tool. Another awesome thing I like with this add-on is if you click on character here, it gives you all of the characters you have on the server. So if I wanted to say, okay, it's a brand new character, I've got no money, or let's say I wanted some copper ore because I need to make something, I can't remember if any of my other characters have it, I can click on Xylanthor, my rogue, and I can see what he has in his backpack. I can click on my paladin, and I can, or a different one of my characters, and I can see what they have in their backpack. And then I'll know, before I have to log on and log off all the time, I know who has what, which is super handy. There's just one more thing I wanted to show you, which is Gladius. So although it's not that necessarily relevant as a new player, it's an add-on I've been using for years, and it's just default in my add-ons list. So if you type in kind of Gladius and test, it will show you what it looks like, and you can just basically pick it up and put it wherever you want. It will only ever open when you enter an arena, so most of the time it will just sit in the background and not do anything. It's just a really handy tool. It shows who you're fighting against, what spells they're casting, and what cooldowns they have. So I'll explain more in a later video, but having that set up in here is very useful for when you PvP later on. Trust me, you will thank me later. To hide it again, just type /Gladius hide, and it will move it away. So these are the main add-ons that I use. If you have any more, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking to try out, learn new things. There's a couple of really good leveling add-ons that I want to show you later on, but my advice is between 1 and 20, don't use any leveling add-ons. A lot of the leveling add-ons, especially recently, kind of push you through the content too quickly and don't allow you to learn the game. They kind of auto-accept quests, give you waypoint arrows to just follow this thing blindly, and you end up leveling too quickly and missing a lot of really important stuff that will help you later on down the line. My advice is level 1 to 20, just with the default settings that are here. So you'll go to a quest giver, pick up a quest, and it will naturally follow you on to the next one and on to the next town. Once you hit 20, there's a really good add-on called Azeroth Autopilot. I'm going to put the link in the description below, so check that out. If you download that from level 20, that will give you a waypoint where you can follow an arrow, and that will lead you the whole way up until level 120. But I think those first 20 levels really help you settle into the game and get yourself comfortable. So for now, I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please drop me a like. Don't forget to subscribe and to turn on your notifications. There's going to be a load more videos coming over the next few days. From here, we're going to be moving on to our leveling. So we're going to level up a character from fresh to level 10 with all the add-ons and everything we've done to set up. And then from there, we're going to move on to a bit of my favourite thing, PvP. And then I'm going to show you some dungeons and go from there. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.